Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade Adventurers. I'm Jake Spins, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today we have a crazy unboxing for you guys. And I say crazy because we're going to be stepping into the world of Kirby. Now, personally, I've really liked the series of Kirby, but I don't have much experience with it. As a kid, I played Kirby Air Ride. I've played a little bit of Planet Robobot, pretty much over half of it, I would say. I've completed Kirby Star Allies, not 100%, not with all the DLC stuff because they added a mode and a bunch of other stuff. But pretty much, I would love to play more Kirby, especially the new 3D Kirby that's coming out. Man, I am so hyped for that. But today, the character we're going to be unboxing, I don't even really know that much from the Kirby series except for Star Allies. I know this character mostly from Smash Brothers. The reason why I know this character in Smash is because this character is actually a boss, and one boss that gave me a fair amount of trouble. Not the hardest boss in the game for me, that would be pretty much Pig Ganondorf, but this boss is one that at first glance you wouldn't think is too bad. That would be Marx. Now looking at this guy, you might be like, oh, he's a little cute guy and I want to pinch his cheeks. Don't. He will bite your fingers off. This guy is a demon. Like, if you have seen him in any Kirby game, if you've seen him in Smash, anywhere, you will know that this cuteness is a facade. Like, Kirby hides it really well, you know, his demonic side, and you only see it a little bit. This guy's like reverse Kirby, where like the cuteness, it's like, okay, there's a pinch of it, and it's just you walk up to him, and then immediately you're like, nope, I'm backing out. To give you an idea of how insane this guy is, if you look at his Smash moveset, he has things like his eyes will come out and multiply. His eyes will just like puff up. He can make black holes. He has wings. He can make these like flaming vines come out of him. He has a mouth laser. You know that meme of, I'm a fire in the laser? He can do that. He can do that right from his mouth. He is basically the Kirby version of this meme. And yet, he's plastered with a bow tie. If that doesn't sound like you want to stay away from this guy, I really don't know what does. Thankfully, though, this is just a plush of him, and he won't eat my soul in my sleep. Right? All joking aside, though, it's time to open him up. Ooh. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've actually had this plush for a few years, which, if you thought my backlog for Mario Party was bad, for Smash was bad, yeah, my backlog for merchandise and unboxing stuff that I have yet to record is way worse, because it's actually in the physical world. But this guy, I got him because I thought he was really cute, and I think if I remember right, I wanted to get some sort of like thing off of Amazon, and this happens all the time. But it's something that's usually pretty cheap and says, "Hey, $25 shipping." And you're like, even though it'll still cost me more, I want more value. I want that money to actually be spent on something that I can have. So then you add a plush to it. At least that's what I do. But yeah, the information for this guy, for history, I'll try to look some stuff up. I believe his first appearance was Kirby Superstars? That's my best guess, because thinking back on it, I did have that for the DS, but unfortunately, I never really played it. I never really played that much of Mass Attack, and I think I had Squeak Squad as well. But he was pretty much only in a handful of games, despite being so menacing and so iconic to the series. But let's look at the plush himself. So he actually is a little bit more detailed than Kirby, having these very wide eyes, and I didn't notice this until looking at the plush, but he actually has purple eyes. I thought they were just solid black, and that's a part of his like charm but creep factor, is the fact that he has these gigantic eyes. There's the whites in them, so he has reflection, so I guess that means he has a soul? Strange. One character that you wouldn't think would have one. but he's got those popping eyes. But then he's also got like the underneath the little Kirby blemish. So I guess it's possible that maybe he's a part of the Kirby species. He has a multitude of abilities. I don't think he can copy abilities, but considering how many he has, it's possible that maybe he's like a derived version of the species. He doesn't have any arms, but he does have a menacing bow tie. I'm sure at some point that bow tie will be able to like unravel and just like wrap around people just from him using psychic powers. But for now, it's just decoration. We also have his feet, which kind of remind me of loaves of bread. It's like you took a gumball and you just shoved 2 loaves of bread underneath and said character. That's it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just what it kind of reminds me of. And the loaves of bread, I would say they're maybe pretzel bread because they're darker. They're not burnt, you know? So yeah, I'd say pretzel bread. Yeah. And then of course, the other thing that he has is his hat. Now, fans of Kirby may actually recognize this as the hat Kirby gets when he's Beam Kirby. I think this is really interesting and a part of why I feel that maybe he derives from Kirby a little bit. Maybe he used to have a copy ability, copied the magician power-up, the beam power-up, but instead of it going out of his system, because he's slightly different from Kirby, then maybe he ended up like fusing with it and evolving the power, because why else would he have that specific hat? It's not like a variant on that hat. It is that hat. And who knows, maybe it's like the reverse of like, oh, they thought this hat would be cool on Kirby, so they made a power-up. But I think Beam Kirby is like one of the original powers, if I'm not mistaken. But looking at the actual plush details, you have this very soft white rim, which is pretty nice. And honestly, the hat itself for the colors is very seamless. You do have a seam there, but you don't see any stitches or anything that make you think that it's actually divided. So even though you have that color divide, it looks like just one entity, which I think is super cool. That being the blue part, which has a baggy little thing here. There's a little fluff in this part as well as this part, just so that it doesn't fall all the way flat, but so that it's not stiff either. So it's movable, but it stays like it actually would in the game. And if he moves like this, then it moves like it's actually in the game. So that's really, really cool. The other things is that you have this puffball. Unfortunately, it's not super fluffy, but a guy this menacing, would he have fluffy puffballs? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's like some kind of like material in this that if he just like whips his hat forward, then he ends up hitting somebody with it and gives them a concussion. I don't know. I'm not willing to try it, but that is a possible thing that he has. You also have the red side, pretty much the same thing, but one key difference is that he has nachos on this side. So the red side is if he gets hungry, right? And he likes salsa, so it's red, you know? Nachos and salsa. Personally, I would have preferred nacho cheese, but I mean, hey, a chaotic god can have whatever he wants, and salsa's not that crazy for nachos. And then on the blue side, you have the circles, which, because we have the nacho thing here, I'd like to say that this is water and the circles are like the bubbles. Dude, I would actually love, this wouldn't happen, but what if like just some weird chance, somebody from Nintendo just saw this video and was like, and the next Kirby game, it's just, you have Marx with water spewing out of this side and nacho and salsa spewing out of this side. Would it be weird? Yes, but it's Marx, so it would be like only semi-weird. Like nobody would question it, you know? They'd be like, but can the nachos be on fire? That's probably what they would be questioning. Why isn't it weirder? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the plush, other than just the tag itself, which unfortunately doesn't have a picture of Marx, but it looks like this is a Sanei Little Buddy type plush, but it's the Japanese one, I I never remember which is which. I really don't, and I'm sorry. But yeah, this was a pretty short video, but I don't really have that much information about Marx. I know that most of my stuff that I rambled was just jokes and theories, and mostly joking theories. But if you guys do have more information, feel free to let me know in this comment section down below so that I can learn about this character and so that others clicking on this video also can learn about this character. If you do want this plush, it is most likely still on Amazon. Just be careful because now Amazon is actually getting to a point where there are fake bootleg plush on there, so you have to be very careful. So if you want a more secured place to look for it, I'd suggest a place like Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toys, which, despite the name, is actually just a regular toy place. And they're really good, really helpful websites that I think stores actually use to get like stocks of all this stuff. So you can get individual ones. So if you are looking for this guy, definitely check any of those places. Anyway, though, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, share yourself with everyone known love, brother, mother, father, iguana, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. All right, guys, keep it safe, and I mean, he's insane. He would make some weird, insane noise, right? My first thought was go for boo and then make him chuckle. It's something like that. I've heard the voice clip, but was mine good? No. No, it wasn't. But it's what we all have to live with. All right. Bye, guys.